the big issue I have with gambling companies is that if you're a loser, they will take you every day of the week. And a lot of the time, gambling companies are essentially a recirculation of dole money. If you are a winner, you are cut off straight away. They have no interest in you whatsoever. They have no interest in winners. They have no interest in risk. They just have an interest in handy money. And it's just not something... I'll put it this way. Name me another service industry where you can be refused a service for not doing anything wrong. If you own a pub, right, and I'm in your pub and I'm acting the maggot, you can kick me out, and that's fine. If I am signed up with a betting company and I win money, I haven't done anything wrong. You can't, and the problem is they won't necessarily deny you service, but your betting limit will be €2.50 or something like that, and maybe you've had 300 before that, because maybe there are some good gamblers out there. That's just an issue I have. I think it's a totally hypocritical industry, I have to say.
Yeah, but then you have to, like, they're playing on the addictive personalities that people have. Like, I would have an addictive personality for chocolate.
I knew you were going to say chocolate.
Look at this. Look at what I cleaned out there earlier. A full box of Haribo sweets. After doing a workout yesterday, I think I'm a great lad. But like, even looking at the video game industry. Now, I used to play video games a ridiculous amount when I was young, like Pro Evolution Soccer. I think it's actually now called eFootball. But anyway, I used to play that an awful lot. And I hear about different video games. And these days, what you get charged for is like to buy an update or to unlock something online. So people end up basically spending what almost feels like monopoly money buying all these things online. So
it's mad, isn't it? Yeah. They are playing on an addictive personality. I feel like it has to be regulated an awful lot better, just way better. The GA, in fairness, have slowly taken steps, but you can never do enough to. It's such a kind of it is generally. I know you saw that outwardly in somebody, but it's generally a silent problem, kind of probably like mental health problems or something like that as well. It's not something that you can see or identify, and those things are more dangerous than someone who's suffering because of a leg break or something like that. It's when you can't see it. It's when it's probably an even bigger problem and more worrying.
Yeah, and again, fair play to Conn Kilpatrick to come out and talk like that on TV. I also wonder, is he a little bit of a doppelganger for Conn O'Callaghan, or am I raving when I say that?
Bring him up on screen there. I can't. I'll have to see it.
Hold on, I thought I had it handy.
I didn't think so. It wasn't something that immediately jumped out at me, I have to say. But I know he had a lot of ladies swooning over him when his jersey ripped. He does look very like him there now, to be fair.
Yeah, what do people think? Does he look a bit like Conn O'Callaghan?
Yeah, that's actually, I hadn't seen that before, but he does look quite like him there, in fairness.
Yeah, fair play to him getting up front and centre. And you know what? It actually just reminds me of Callum Robinson this week coming out talking. And like, number one, I'm not sure why Stephen Kenny chose to put him up, because he knows 40% of his squad isn't vaccinated. And I think that figure is something similar over in Premier League, for example. But that's 2 press conferences in a row, or 2 international windows in a row, where he's put someone up in front of the media, and you're like, are you trying to create a smokescreen to take the pressure off you by putting Callum Robinson in front of he's going to be asked. I mean, I think it's quite egregious that people go and openly ask someone, are you vaccinated? I mean, that's someone's personal health. Let them do what they want.
That's totally against all
GDPR
guidelines. Yeah.
And
totally.
like, we're talking about mental health. I mean, is this pile on Callum Robinson when 92% of the country is vaccinated, and like he's had it twice now, so he's got natural immunity, which is stronger than getting a vaccine in terms of immunity. I'm not going down the road and saying who should do this, that, and the other, or whatever. I don't care, and that's the whole point. Sorry, it's not that I don't care. It's not my business to tell someone else what to do. And like, does this affect him now personally, that the amount of scrutiny on him? And by the way, when I say 2 guys in a row out at press conferences and then the massive scrutiny after it, I'm talking about James McLean and, of course, him attacking the media and stuff like that. And he had a very good performance the next day out, it must be said. But I just wonder, like with Callum Robinson, is he going to be like, you know what, I'm coming over here and I've played 18 internationals for Ireland, and like, he's fine, he's only scored 1 goal, but he's clearly quite a good player and we can certainly do with it. But might he be like, do you know what, I don't need this? Are we haranguing players to this point? Like, people love saying mental health when it suits them, but like, that's not necessarily good for him.
Yeah, no, potentially. I don't know the type of character that he is, or whether he's kind of got a really thick neck. But you probably would need a thick neck over the next while to deal with the amount of scrutiny that he's going to get. Interestingly, I saw one of the best responses to a Twitter troll I've ever seen in recent days. Oisin Murphy, the jockey, is going for I think it's his third British jockey championship in a row. He's fighting it out with William Buick for the title, and somebody tagged him as jockeys get it worse than anybody because, again, there's a lot of money involved, and people who have €2 on a horse think they can go and slate you online. But someone tagged him at Ush Murphy and said something along the lines of, "How did you get that 2-9 shot beaten? X, Y, and Z. Buick will have you for toast. You're a fraud," or something like that. And Oisin Murphy just texts back, "He doesn't eat carbohydrates," which I thought was a good response. Some of the jockeys actually get back at people on Twitter, and some of their responses are really good. Like Tom Marquand is another jockey, and he's going out with Holly Doyle. They're going out a long time, and someone tagged him and said, "So sick of Tom Marquand," or something like that, and he just responded, "And so is at Holly Doyle." I just thought it was brilliant. It's just. But Callum Robinson is definitely open to, I'd imagine, to be a lot of idiots giving him abuse over the next while, and depending on what sort of a fella he is, you could look at it and be like, "Is this really worth it?" That's what a lot of GA players would say with some of the abuse that comes with it, particularly if you go on a night out. Like, is it really worth it? So hopefully that's not the case with him.
If you enjoyed this piece of content, please follow us on YouTube by hitting the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner of the page, which helps the channel grow. And if you want audio podcasts, go to